Hello everybody, it's nice to see you. I hope you're well. I've just put on some Proraso white pre-shave and I'll just let that sit for a moment while I tell you about today's shave. I've got another slant bar razor to look at, but next week we'll have a break from the slant bar razors and I will do something different. After this week's shave I've got 2 slant bars remaining and I'll do those in alternate weeks. Had a bit of a rush on the slant bars because, as I've explained in previous videos, they're not mine. They were kindly loaned to me by Graham and I do need to send them back. But the razor I've got this week is the iKon 102 Humpback slant bar razor. There we are, you can see I've got it on my Moolah handle, same as the other 2 that I've done in the series. I'm using the same handle, and this week I've got a soap that I've never seen before, never used before. I've got some of these single-use minis. They are made by the Pacific Shaving Company, and there is a UK distributor called Touch My Face Limited, and they distribute to shaving companies, but so far I've not seen any of these for sale in the UK, so perhaps you'll be able to point me in the right direction. San Francisco they are normally from, Pacific Shaving Company in San Francisco. I'm going to use my bowl with one of these today. They are ingenious little things. Let me just get one out. Look, they come like this in a little bag, and the bag dissipates to nothing with a drop of water. I'm just going to put that there for a moment. I'm going to be using today my little, as we're using minis, I'm going to be using my mini brush, my little Gillette shaving brush. It's about 100 years old. When I first got it I thought it was from about 1936, but it predates that by a long way. It is made by Rubberset, and there we are, you can see a Rubberset trademark on the bottom of the brush, and this would have come with an early Gillette travel set. It's a pure badger brush. Now with these minis, I've just pulled a drop of water out of my bowl, so there's enough in here just to pop that in, and the water will dissipate that kind of cover that holds the soap. And there we are, as soon as you start working it with the brush, it just disappears. These smell very minty. They contain spearmint. They're very nice indeed, I must say. I've tried one on my hands, and because it's on your hands, you know, they'd be good for the gym or something like that, but because you go like that on your hands and the soap's right there and you can use it, but because you've got all this on your hands you don't get as much. You maybe get enough for one pass, but in a bowl they work much better and you get enough for 3 passes easily. And in fact I'm going to add a drop more water to this. There's just a little bit hanging around in the corner of the remnants of that bag, but that will disappear in a moment. Quite ingenious really. Now the razor I've got today is the iKon 102. Now unlike the torqued slant razors, The slant on this one occurs because the actual head is tilted. Let me take it apart and show you. It is a solid aluminium head, so a little bit better quality than the other two razors that I've shown you so far, the Magard slant razor and the RazorRock German 37. Now there we are, you can see that the guard is very well made. It's got iKon Shavecraft, there we go, stamped into it. It's very nicely made in this matte coating. Really looks good. Just give it a wipe before I hold it up to the camera. Now this is quite nicely finished. I'm going to be using the Dorco razor blade again today on its second use. There we are. Now that fits in really nicely. There's not really any play in that, and that's just as well because the cap covers the edges of the razor blade, so it would be very difficult to adjust that. Let's put the handle on. Now this is a machined aluminium head. It sells for $40 for the head, or for $65 it comes with a stainless steel handle from Magard razors. Now I've used Magard razors as the price point because the Magard torqued razor was $20, near enough, and also my brain's leaking out my ears, excuse me, the RazorRock German 37 was about $20, so this is a significant jump up in quality and in price, but it is a very nice with the satin finish. Now in the UK, Connaught Shaving sell the head for £36.90, and that comes at the moment with a 15% reduction off iKon products. So, you know, if you were thinking about it and you're in the UK, that's not a bad site to go to. Now there we go, that's my little Gillette mini brush. Now I'm just going to add a drop of water to that. It's a clever idea, isn't it, these little mini soaps? If they could do that in different flavours, it'd be great. I got these from a gentleman called Mike. We did a little bit of a trade, and this was some of the things that he sent through to me. So it's always really great to try something you've never seen before. There we go, that'll do. And you can see on my brush, oop, the handle is a little bit small, but it works really, really well. Do you know, I didn't think I'd get a shave in today. The wind has been wild here today. We're having a proper storm at the moment. But it's just dropped off and gone really quiet, so I thought I'd rush in here. Now, unlike the torch razors where the slant is identical on each side of this is a mirror image of the other side. So, as I hold it that way on my face, I can turn it around and make sure that the slant is working each side of my face at the same angle. You can see on this side there is a line through the head cap and the guard. And that's because the head cap only fits on one way. Now let's get going with this. I'm going to shave with, I'm going to shave with it that way. Now, as with the other slants, I've used this already. My first impression is that there's a little bit more blade feel than the other two. And because of that, it was marginally less comfortable. And I found it not to be as efficient as the R37, but that was just my first impression, and I shall put my considered opinion after today's shave in the description beneath this video. Now, I did say with all the slants that I was going to use the same soap, but I was so knocked out by these little minis, I just decided to use these. Now let me just double check that. So going that way on my face with the mark towards the centre, and the slant is that way. So if I go that way, I need to go that way, do I? This is the thing that messes me up about slants. I can't work out which direction the slant is working in very easily. In fact, I'm finding it very difficult, so I want to go that way. It's that way. Really, that shouldn't have been as hard as that, should it? Now there we are, that's a nice easy first pass with this razor. Yeah, we'll see how we go as we go along. Now, I've been wondering, and perhaps you have too, I've been wondering on whether the Slant is really more efficient than a standard double-edged safety razor. And I have to say, I don't think it is, for me. You know, maybe you've got one and you absolutely love it and you think it's super efficient. And the ones I've been using, you know, there's no doubt about it, they shave well, but I'm just not sure they're more efficient than a standard DE. And I'd be interested in your opinion on that. I think that it's common opinion that the magic of the Slant razor is because of the slant of the razor blade acting like a guillotine on the hair. But I've had an interesting email from Mr. Mayur Patel. Some of you will be aware that Mayur is a hobbyist and produces his own razors. And he writes to say that with a guillotine, the angle of attack is about 7 degrees, give or take. And a 7-degree angle reduces friction by about 1%. Whereas a Gillette slide has a greater chance of reducing friction because typically the angle of a Gillette slide is about 35 degrees. So there we go, that's something for you to think about. I think with the torqued razors, the two I've used so far, so this is not my definitive answer by any means, but they feel more like a shave with a single-edged safety razor, something like my Ever Ready Streamline. They have that kind of a feel to them. But I wouldn't say they were more efficient than my Ever Ready Streamline. Now this feels much more comfortable on the second pass, going with the grain. And that's certainly common to all of the razors that I've used so far. You know, you tend to think, or what I do, tend to think that when you do that first pass with the grain, that you've maybe got everything growing in that direction, but you can hear now I'm picking up hair quite well here, so I find doing 2 passes with the grain just really suits me. There we are. Now that's better. Yep, that's much better. Really quite a difference there between the first and the second pass. Now let's get the rest of this soap out of this dish. I've still got some in here, so you can see there is plenty of soap with these little minis. They are great. Add a drop of water to this. You know, when I spray this like that and I go really rough, I can feel a little bit of a prickle, just slightly, but when you go backwards and forwards like this, it's as smooth as anything. There we go. Nice and easy against the grain. I can feel on my face that it feels like I've got a close shave. And it felt like this the first time that I used it. I was a little bit sore, but only for, you know, by the time I'd walked out of the bathroom, that soreness was gone. And yet, despite that sort of feeling that I'd had a really close shave, I didn't have as close a shave as the RazoRock 37 or the Maggard Honey Brown Slant razor. So some slight oddities there about the shave, but we'll see how we go this time. There we go, I think that's it. Now I'll just show you on this one, because there is a really small blade gap on here. Now while there is a fairly large amount of blade showing, the actual blade exposure is really not very great at all. Certainly not that you can see, you know, by eye there. So I'm thinking that this should be a really mild razor, but it doesn't give that impression when you shave with it. Quite strange to see the head angled like that on top of the straight handle. But obviously that is why the head cap only fits on the guard one way. Let me just take it apart. It's because the post that holds the handle is offset. And there we are. If you put it on the wrong way, it looks like that. But this is a similar design to a vintage Walbush razor, but very clever. Just trying to slant the blade in a slightly different way. Now I've used 3 so far over the last 3 weeks, and I must admit so far the razor that I like the most out of those 3 is the RazoRock German 37 Slant. With the flat head. Now I can feel that I've had a better shave than the first time I used it, but it's nowhere near as good a shave as the RazoRock 37 gave me. It is a very nice shave, very acceptable. You know, I'm really picking fault here by saying that. So far the RazoRock German 37 is the favourite. But having said that, I'm not sure that I would buy a slant razor. I've had a shave as good as this from many razors. So the slant in this case I don't really think offers any benefit to the shave. Now I'm going to use Parasso Green. Yeah, it's a nice shave. It is very close. There we are. It is what it is. I shall put my considered thoughts in the description. I hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and as I say, we will do something different next week. See you then. Take care now. Bye bye.